Space warfare is about offense. It simply is the natural progression of combat. As a species advances, their offensive capabilities evolve faster and faster to the point armor just can't keep up pace. You can change a couple of things, of course. The Pumagni, for example, use gigantic carriers and battleships to break enemy lines. The Mulnave prefer to use hundreds of smaller carriers surrounded by hundreds of thousands of attackers to overwhelm with sheer numbers. Some have super-efficient hyperdrives to invade system after system before the defenders can prepare themselves. Others choose to invest on faster normal engines so they can do hit-and-run attacks better. But it is always about the offensive. On ground battles, that is also true. Orbital strikes make any slow-moving defense a sitting duck just waiting to be blown from orbit. And yet again, everyone has their own little doctrine. Some stuff their troops with weapons, others like to make them fast and flexible. But the constant is the same. From the highly specialized soldiers of the Electi to the gigantic body waves of the Vidyamvi, it's all about offense, until we met the humans. They were a mildly impressive species when we found them. Just 400 years after first discovering FTL, they had already colonized 200 systems. They had potential, and people love to exploit potential. Battle plans were set, meetings were made, treaties were signed. Everyone wanted a piece of humanity. The reasons varied, of course. Some wanted them as slaves, others as citizens. Many just wanted their territory. No one even thought about them winning. They only had railguns and no laser. Sure, their railguns were much better than other kinetic weapons, but lasers were better for offensive. Their armor was truly impressive, but it was heavy, making their mechanized units easy targets. They had the worst offensive capabilities, and war is about offense. All at once, everyone declared war on humanity. Human worlds fell again and again under the might of superior lasers and orbital bombardments. Sure, their sabotage and guerrilla tactics made things difficult, but none could stand against this offensive. Every world conquered simply fueled the offensive on. It was as easy as a summer walk. Then, all at once, everything stopped. No more supplies came from the conquered worlds, no more communications either. So, the fleets went back to check what was happening. Trash. Every planet they checked had trash floating around it. Tons upon tons of trash in orbit forming a shield of garbage. Upon closer inspection, they found out why. The humans had built hundreds of gigantic railguns into every planet, hid them underground, and now were using them to throw trash into orbit. The admirals of every nation decided that the sensible thing to do was to shoot the railguns down. Much to their horror, however, the trash shield prevented any orbital bombers from getting close enough to shoot. Nothing was getting in or out of those planets. The soldiers down on the worlds would now have to fight an enemy with superior armor, superior organization, better knowledge of the terrain, and greater experience in attrition fighting, all without the help of orbital bombardment or the ability to retreat out of the planets. That wasn't the worst part, however. Most of the supplies needed by the fleets were being supplied by the conquered worlds, which meant now their lifeline had been suddenly cut while deep in enemy territory. Some tried to push on, but the humans had concentrated all of their forces and were now shredding the enemy forces. Some tried to retreat, but the humans had recorded how their fleets moved, and so the moment they appeared on a system, they would be immediately shot by thousands of previously hidden railguns. Advance and face a bloodthirsty enemy by yourself. Retreat and watch as your forces crumble before the storm of human shots. Hold your position and let your soldiers starve. Suddenly, every admiral of every nation had realized something truly terrible. Their summer walk had just become a winter march.